Son of a bitch. So I figured, since we've got 13 days until the 5th installment in one of the greatest franchises in motion picture history, I'd take a few minutes and let you guys know where I stand as a die-hard fan on the first 4. But instead of dragging your ass through 4 separate reviews, I'm gonna make your life just a little bit easier and give you the abridged, smack dab, to the point review of all 4 of them right here, right now. Mainly because I own the collection on Blu-ray and they're all packed in here as one, so yeah, it just makes more sense to me. So we start off with one of the single greatest action movies of all time, Die Hard. This movie alone not only solidified Bruce Willis as one of the greatest actors ever, but also one of the most badass good cops ever. He takes no bullshit and dishes out the pain one yippee-ki-yay at a time. And yeah, I'm gonna be a killjoy and give you the PG-13 version. My apologies for doing the line a disservice. So with Die Hard, you got one of the most basic, bare-bone setups ever. A guy in a building who just happens to be a cop, invited to a Christmas party where his wife works, where terrorists eventually take over because they want to steal a shitload of money. Die Hard is not a classic simply because of the characters and the situation, but because it does not rely on bullshit CGI to pull off amazing action sequences. And you wonder why Christopher Nolan is so respected. Same deal. You got the roof of the Nakatomi Plaza blown to all hell with John McClane jumping off the side with a freaking fire's attached to him. And then you got the classic Hans! That's my favorite moment. Badass and brutal with balls to the wall action and Alan Rickman as the villain, Die Hard is every action aficionado's wet dream and has earned its cult status. The only problems it runs into are that at the very end, that guy should be dead. He died clear as freaking day and we all saw that. There's no way he survived. Oh, and that whole side story with Vel Johnson and how he accidentally shot that kid, completely unnecessary. Die Hard gets 4 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Die Hard 2, which for me personally is the weakest of them all. Not a bad movie, mind you, just not the best. So this time you got John McClane doing the same A to B yippee-ki-yay routine as he did before, except this time it's in an airport. Of course it is. They did this in Home Alone 2, as you might recall. Okay, my apologies. That was a horrible reference. And just to show us how menacing the villain is this time around, we get introduced to him in a hotel room, but naked. Yep, talk about the good old days of filmmaking. This douchebag takes the whole airport hostage just to get a safe landing for his friend. What a nice guy, right? Die Hard 2 is my least favorite because it takes all the cliches of the last movie and pushes the turbo button. Everything you think is going to happen, happens. And probably this film's biggest problem is how every time something is hinted at in the film that's going to be resolved later on in the film. Like that whole issue with the type of ammo used. It's so blatantly shown on screen early in the film that there's no surprise at all when it's revealed in the end. That being said though, there are some pretty stellar action sequences scattered throughout. Mainly the bit where John McClane gets stuck in that cockpit and the bad guys toss like 8 grenades in there. Talk about unrealistic, holy crap, but badass. That is classic Die Hard. Define the laws of physics. That's how we do things around here. And then there's the final battle. I never get tired of watching that shit. Die Hard 2 gets 3 out of 5 stars. Now we go to my second favorite Die Hard. Die Hard with a Vengeance. And this one has Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't say, hey Zeus, he said, hey Zeus, my name is Zeus. Zeus? Yeah, Zeus. As in father of Apollo, Mount Olympus, don't screw with me or I'll shove a lightning bolt up your ass. Zeus! You got a problem with that? I swear to you guys now, I will never enter a Samuel L. Jackson impersonation contest. And this time, Jeremy Irons is the baddie. Jeremy Irons! Simon says to review the Die Hard movies and do it well, or your subscriber list will be back to 0 within the hour. Yeah, piece of cake, give us something hotter, huh? The only problems this film runs into are that there are a couple action set pieces that, while entertaining, are just ridiculously unrealistic. I have fun watching them every time, you know, but I mean, some of this shit just does not happen. Also, there are just way too many twists at the end. Seriously, just pick one and stick with it. One small but important gripe is that Jeremy Irons did not need a stutter. It does nothing for the story. Die Hard with a Vengeance gets 4 out of 5 stars. And finally, we get Live Free or Die Hard. The one that broke the mold and went PG-13 on our ass. Why? To appeal to a wider audience so more money could be made. This movie has a lot of problems, and the funny thing is that in watching it for the 6th time, I not only didn't enjoy it as much as the first 5, but I found things that just bothered me a lot more this time around. Like the hacking, for instance. I've never hacked into anything besides in a video game, and I know of no one personally who hacks for a hobby or a living. But at the same time, it's like it takes these guys 10 seconds to hack in everything, be it the TV or jet plane. That is just plain inconceivable. I mean, I get why they did it, you know? Pacing. But that's another thing. The pacing. It is the shortest out of all the Die Hard movies, yet it still feels just as long as all the others. How does that even work? Then there's that bit where the building blows up on TV and everyone thinks it's for real. First of all, that building is close enough to both parties that had it really blown up, people would have not only heard, but felt that explosion. Second of all, that explosion on the TV looked fake as hell. Clearly, it's a model. But in the heat of the moment, sure, it looks real. I guess. And finally, there is the heavy reliance on CGI. There are some stunts where it is required, however, those action sequences are not as enjoyable because the CGI is just that apparent. That being said though, there is not one single action sequence in this film that I do not like. And my favorites are the tunnel and elevator sequence. I won't spoil what happens, but bar none, those are the best. The cast, I think, works, though, in my opinion, not the best ensemble. Same for the plot as well, cause I mean, it is a modern plot, you know, deals with technology and all that, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's the most fascinating plot out of all of them. The director, Len Wiseman, did a good job, and a lot better than Total Recall, but from an editing standpoint, I'd say it's the weakest. Because there are some cuts that are either unnecessary or just plain too fast. And the fact that McClane's classic line is not delivered in full definitely bogs it down and takes away from the spirit of the previous 3. But as a whole, I do enjoy this movie and rank it as my 3rd favorite Die Hard movie. Die Hard, with a vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, and finally, Die Harder. I give Live Free or Die Hard 3 out of 5 stars. If you've made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. Have an awesome day. And real quickly, before I end the video, I gotta give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Luke, because if not for his help and guidance, my intro would not exist. So thank you, and thank you for watching.